No land on Earth possesses more wonders than Egypt. Wonders long hidden, but revealed occasionally in a glint of gold, or a curious tale. Our story begins with a death. The death of an unusual boy. Worshipped as the son of Ra, the sun god. He was a pharaoh of Egypt 3,000 years ago. We don't know how he died, only that his death was sudden and mysterious. His body was preserved in the manner of other pharaohs, and priests anointed his coffin to prepare him for his final journey into the world of the dead. The rituals had to be finished before his father, the sun, descended into darkness. So this young pharaoh was secured in his tomb, surrounded by kingly treasures, and his seal was pressed into its entrance. From that time on, it was to be a place of peace, hidden and undisturbed throughout eternity. This young king's name was Tutankhamun. For 3,000 years, King Tut and his tomb in the Valley of the Kings remained concealed beneath shifting sands. Other tombs were discovered and completely pillaged, but not his. Believing he could find it, an Englishman named Howard Carter mounted 5 arduous expeditions, but they yielded nothing. In 1922, he returned to Egypt for a 6th attempt.
السلام عليكم. وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. أيوة. العصفور.
That year, he brought a beautiful canary to brighten his spirits.
Inshallah.
The workmen called it the Golden Bird and told Carter it would bring them good luck. But as work began, success seemed a remote prospect, and time was running out. Carter's benefactor, Lord Carnarvon, was an English earl fascinated by Egypt. But even he was losing faith and had threatened to cut off the money. Yet Carter persisted, knowing that if found intact, the tomb would be filled with amazing artifacts that would help us peer through the shadows of time, to glimpse a world of human splendor long lost, to glimpse our very beginnings.
That's a great story, Grandpa, but I want to know more. You live here, and I know you can tell me the real story.
About?
Well, my friends want me to ask about the curse. How anyone who entered King Tut's tomb
Will have some terrible things happen to them. Yes, yes, I know.
I don't know if I believe it, but will you tell me about it?
So, The pharaohs, the tombs, the monuments, the great civilization who built them, you're not interested in. But the mummy scarce, you find.
Exciting.
Yes, I can see that. All right, then. You shall hear all about it. But first we must take a trip together.
Where'll we start, then?
At the source, of course. The source of the Nile. It is the longest river on Earth, the greatest river in Africa, crossing nearly half the continent. It is born of two rivers, the White Nile, which rises near Lake Victoria and heads north through Uganda, and the Blue Nile, which descends from the highlands of Ethiopia. They meet in the desert of Sudan, forming the main trunk of the Nile. By the time it drains into the Mediterranean Sea, its waters have journeyed more than 4,000 miles. To the outside world, the source of the great river was an enduring mystery. But to the ancient Egyptians, the source was clear. The Nile flowed from the realm of the gods.
But what has the Nile to do with mummies and curses?
Everything. There would be no mummies, no ancient Egypt. In fact, no Egypt at all without her. You see, Egypt without the Nile is a desert, suitable for camels and scorpions, but not great civilizations. It's only here, along the floodplain of the Nile, that the desert's heat is softened and arid sand is turned to rich farmland. Nourished and irrigated by the Nile, Egypt became the longest lived of all the great early civilizations. In ancient times, so much water raced down from the lush valleys of Central Africa that the Nile overflowed its banks in seasonal floods. Mineral-rich silk was carried toward the desert of Egypt from lands upstream where wildlife flourished. Rich land made possible a vast farming culture and a stable civilization able to turn from daily survival to works of the mind. Science, mathematics, engineering, and astronomy. They studied the heavens and the seasons, gave us the 24-hour day and the 365-day calendar. Egypt